Hello, good afternoon and welcome to the Lusail International Circuit here in Qatar for the 2021 Team Suzuki Ecstar presentation. The final Motogp team launch of 2021, which means the first official day of testing will get underway in just under 2 hours' time here in Qatar. With it being the final team launch of 2021, it means that we've saved the best until last, with today officially marking Suzuki's defence of the 2020 Motogp Riders and Teams World Championship. A remarkable 2020 that saw Suzuki clinch the Motogp World Championship for the first time in 2 decades as they celebrated their 65th anniversary in Grand Prix racing, but also placed 2 riders inside the top 3 of the Premier Class World Championship for the first time since 1981. Suzuki will be the only team on the Motogp grid to retain both riders ahead of 2021, but as is always the case in this sport, change is the only constant, and following the departure of Davide Brivio, who we of course wish the very best in his new venture in that other racing series with 4 wheels rather than 2, there has been a restructure here at Team Suzuki Ecstar ahead of 2021. No better time then than to introduce Team Suzuki Ecstar's project leader and new team director Shinichi Sahara, plus technical manager Ken Kawauchi. Sahara-san, if you'd like to just come forward. Obviously with the departure of Davide, it's resulted in a restructuring of the team ahead of 2021. What have you put in place to make sure the success of 2020 can continue in 2021?
Yes, Jack. As you say, 2020 was a fantastic season for us, and I'd like to keep this momentum for 2021. And as you say, after former team manager Davide Brivio left the team, I thought it was a big loss for the team. But actually, we have the super expert, super professional staff in the team, and their skills and their abilities are more than enough to compensate such loss. And also with our 2 super strong riders, Johan and Alex, they are real title contender this year again. And also the big support from factory engineers in Japan, and also from the test team and test riders, Sylvain and Tsuda-san. With those, we are 100% ready for starting the new season.
You mentioned the technical support and the factory in Japan, a good chance to bring forward technical manager Ken Kawauchi. Ken-san, thank you very much for joining us.
Thank you.
The 2020 GSX-RR was widely regarded as the bike to be on in MotoGP, but as is always the case, a lot of work has gone in over the winter.
Yeah.
So how have you improved the bike ahead of 2021?
Okay. Due to the regulation, we cannot change the bike so much, but of course our engineer in Japan continue to develop the bike step by step, and by the team performance, rider performance, we can improve more than last year. So I'm have much confidence and I don't worry.
And just finally, Sahara-san, I'm sure the eagle-eyed viewers at home will be able to notice a change on your team uniform there with the addition of Monster Energy as a new partner to the team. How happy are you to bring them on board ahead of 2021?
Yeah, I'm really happy to have new partner, Monster Energy, to start this challenging journey together. We hope our promotion in the world stage together with Monster Energy bigger and bigger. And one of the most important things for me is our bike would be look much stronger and cooler. This is important thing for me.
Of course, that's always an important factor, to have a cool looking bike.
And I believe the Monster Energy can give us the extra energy.
I'm sure they will. Well, we're now moments away from revealing the 2021 GSX-RR, with both Alex Rins and Joan Mir looking to pick up where they left off in 2020.
Sentono in moto.
Well, we are live here in Qatar, and unfortunately we've got some unwanted guests with KTM warming their bikes up ahead of testing getting underway in a few moments' time. But without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, let me introduce to you third place in the World Championship, Alex Rins, the 2020 MotoGP World Champion, Joan Mir, and the 2021 Suzuki GSX RR. There we go, a stunning entrance from both Alex Rins and Joan Mir, and as you can see, the colour scheme very similar to what we saw last year as Suzuki celebrated their 65th anniversary of Grand Prix racing, with the notable addition of Monster Energy as a new partner for 2021. I will make my way through into the middle as Joan and Alex take off their helmets, and we'll speak to both of them in a moment. They'll be hopping off the bikes and getting ready to speak to us. Of course, KTM wanted to spoil the party, of course, as they're looking to do in 2021 as well. Joan, thank you for joining us. We'll wait for the bikes to be parked up so everyone can see them as they are. Superb.
Beautiful.
It is, it looks well. What do you make of the new livery?
I like a lot. It's a little bit more aggressive than last year, I think, with the Monster logo.
It is, it is. So, Joan, obviously 2020 was an incredible year. I remember speaking to you at the launch in Sepang, and you told me that the target was maybe a top 5 finish or a debut podium, but things went slightly different.
Yeah, well, we have a good challenge in front of us, that is to defend the title. This year the goal is to fight for the title, and really looking forward for it. The bike is beautiful, the team is there, and also we have a great teammate.
And despite the number one not being on the front, we can see a revised personalisation on the screen there with the number one still running on the bike. How important is that for you to at least have a number one on there?
Yeah, well, we decide that it's better the 36, but we put the number one in some places. So I think that is great to have the number one there.
Fantastic. I'll let you pass the microphone over to teammate Alex Rins. Alex, thank you very much for joining us. 2020 was a roller coaster year for you, with the injury at the start of the restarted season, but you finished the season in such strong form with a race victory in Aragon, 2 second place finishes. I'm sure the idea is to continue with that form into 2021.
Yeah, hello everybody. As you said, it was a roller coaster for me, for the first injury in the first race. Then in the middle of the season I was able to recover a little bit, but then 2 crashes on the race, and finally we was able to finish on the good performance. As you say, let's continue to keep this performance this year. Let's see where we are able to be, and yeah, happy not to be here with all this family, ready to rock.
You are ready to rock and roll. You're now just an hour away from jumping on the bike for the first time. How excited are you?
Yeah, I'm so excited. In a couple of hours we will be here at 300 per hour on the straight. So really excited to start. Really excited to wear these colors, no? With these new sponsors. So yeah, let's see.
And we'll just quickly bring in test rider Sylvain Guintoli as well. I'll move to one side so we're maintaining social distance as much as possible. Sylvain, you put in hours and hours of work for the 2020 success to be able to happen, and I'm guessing it's the same for 2021, but also some exciting news for 2022 as well, I hear.
Yeah, that's right. I mean, obviously everybody at Suzuki is working flat out to find some improvements. You know, this MotoGP game is it's all about finding improvements and all about going forward and bringing some better stuff for Joan and for Alex so they can enjoy riding the bike. Yeah, everything is going really well. Obviously, the situation last year was not so easy, but everything is clicking into place, and I think all the hard work of Suzuki, you know, all the engineers in Japan, the test team, the riders, the crews is all clicking together. So it's fantastic to be part of this project, and we are now working, for the future. Already started working on the 2022 engine, which the first feedback was very promising. So we're very happy and continue to work very hard.
Fantastic. We'll just finish off with some fans' questions, guys, because obviously the fans couldn't be with us last year and maybe for a little bit of this year, but I know you felt their support from home, so a good opportunity for them to have their questions. Just one each. The first one to the pair of you, starting with you, Sylvain. Somebody wanted to know on Twitter the difference between riding a GSX-RR and the standard Suzuki road bike. I know you've been doing a lot of training in Portimao and Catalonia, a number of places, but also you've had the chance to ride one at Donington on a few occasions. I also hear you've got a decent YouTube channel as well, where you also did a video similar to this, so no better man to ask.
Well, what's really interesting, I think, is that we all found, and I think we all agree on this, that the GSX-R 1000R, so the road bike, is you can feel that there is the same DNA in the bike. These parallels in between the competition world and the bikes that finally end up in the showrooms. You can really feel that, and this is great. I mean, this bike, don't get me wrong, the MotoGP bikes are special animals. But saying that, you can still feel the characters, and you can still, the electronics, the way the chassis handles. So you can still feel this in the bike, and this is fantastic. So yeah, I mean, there is a lot of parallels, and this is what it's about: developing this bike at the pinnacle of the sport, and then all this technology trickling down for the guys to be able to buy in the shops.
And Alex, for you, what are the main differences? I know there's quite a few, but just run us through how you feel riding in Portimao, for instance, on the standard bike to the MotoGP machine.
Yeah, for sure. As Sylvain says, the bike, the ADNA of the bike is more or less the same. I'm feeling so good on the GCX, on the street bike. A lot on the corner speed. You can do a lot of corner speed. For sure, the engine is a little bit different. All the electronic side. But I prefer, to ride on this bike than to be on the sofa, no, in home. So yeah, as you said, I've been testing a little bit in different tracks this winter to take again the rhythm, no?
Fantastic. And a final one to Joan, I'll let you pass the microphone across. With the MotoGP series inside Suzuki, we've got a good insight of how Suzuki works behind the scenes. A question from Facebook, though, was what was the first thing you did when you got home after winning the World Championship? I think you went to Portimao first, right, before you went back to Mallorca?
Yes, we went to Portimao, and then when we finished the championship, after with this situation, it's not easy to celebrate a lot and to do a lot of stuff. But for me, the most important thing when I came back home was to be relaxed, to enjoy the moment, that the personal satisfaction inside of me after winning the title, and that was at the moment what was making me really happy, no? And to have inside of me the satisfaction of okay, we did it, and then with a couple of days after, I said, okay, we have to repeat it.
Well, that's the plan now. 2021, as you can hear, officially begins in just a few hours' time. Thank you very much, everybody, for joining us, and I'm sure you'll join me in wishing the very best of luck to Joan, to Alex for the 2021 MotoGP World Championship, and to everyone here in Team Suzuki Ecstar.